Hi everyone, I hope you're well. I hope you're having a great week so far. Mel here, and for today's tutorial I've got the new Chloe's Creative Cards magazine that you can see in the picture, and I've got the Advent Hexagon box that I designed. You can see here. I had so much fun designing this and I couldn't wait to show you how it's all done. So before we get started, these are the papers that I've used. It's just some mixed fun Christmas collection. I think they're called Peppermint Kisses, and I got them from Hey Little Magpie, and I used the gorgeous poinsettia along with the green sort of leaf tones. I just thought they matched really well together. For the template itself, I will leave a link below where you can get a link to it, and then we can just get started. Remember, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and if you're not already, please subscribe. I've went and cut everything all out. I've used my Sellout Cameo and I used the SVG file, so it was just quicker for me. I've cut 24 of the small boxes. Then I have a lid and the base for the larger box that sits in the middle. There's 6 sides and then you have 2 bases. For the main box, I've cut out the lid and the 6 sides again. As it's a hexagon, everything's going to be in 6s, so you've got your 6 sides for your lid, you've got your top and base for your lid and the bottom. Then I've got all my different layers cut from the opposite cardstock colour and then the pattern papers. Our first step for making the Advent is to add the layers onto our Advent boxes. So what we're going to do is we're going to add on our cardstock layer, which is 3 small rectangles, a square and then a rectangle with a slight curve on one side. Then we'll layer it with the pattern paper layers. You're going to do this for all 24. It's going to take some time, so pop on your podcast and then just get sticking. You'll see in a moment I also edged the pattern paper layer with some ink. I've used one of my Copics. I just think it brings everything together. You can miss this step out, or you don't need to add a second layer. You can just have the one layer. It's up to you. You could even just cut the box out from some pattern paper instead. It might look better. Again, it's really up to you what you want to do. I'm just showing you the basic steps. Wee top tip, just make sure you're adding your layers to the right places. If you look at what I'm doing here, you'll see I've missed one of the squares, and that is my base. There's no point in sticking anything there, so just make sure you don't stick anything to the side right next to the curve. Now that we've glued all the panels on, all we're going to do is fold all the score lines. Nothing fancy, just folding them inwards. Next, we're going to make up the box itself, so all we're going to do is add some glue to these small tabs and glue them to the inside. I'm using hot glue, just for quickness, but you can use any glue you want as long as it dries clear. So you glue the 2 small ones in the front and then the 2 small ones at the back, and that's all you need to glue. Once you've done this first one, you need to do all 24. So again, pop that other podcast back on and just get sticking. up the large box that sits in the middle, I'm going to add on the layers. I've just did the exact same as I did for the small boxes, and I've added the green ink around the edges. So first we'll make the lid up, so you're just going to add on the layers on the top, this small hexagon layer, and then the wee side tabs. Now all we're going to do is fold the tabs on the long panels. As you can see, my glue wasn't dry yet. All you're going to do is fold the wee top tab and the long tab. Then what we'll do is we'll take the long tab and use it to glue each panel to each other. Really easy. You can use your hot glue again, or you can use your glue, tacky glue, double-sided tape, anything you like. You're just going to glue them together and then glue them closed. Now we're going to add the wee base. So if you take the two hexagons and glue one inside, gluing the tabs on top of it. If you go one side and then go the opposite side, this will help line up the tabs. Then glue the other four and cover everything up with the second hexagon. This means you'll get a nice clean finish. To make up the wee lid itself, it's really easy. All you're doing is folding back these tabs and then folding the wee glue tabs. Then you'll add glue to the tabs, glue to each other to make up the lid. But as you'll see, I'll leave two tabs open. This is just to check that it's going to fit on my box, no bother. I've added layers of card and stuff so it can be bulky, and I just want to make sure that it's going to go on properly. So do that before you glue it closed. And here is me trying to figure out why it's not going back on, even though I've just checked, but one of the tabs inside had folded over, but now as you can see it fits fine. All that's left to do for your wee boxes in the Advent is add on these numbers. I cut these out on my silhouette, but you could use stickers, die cuts, anything you want. For the main box, I am just adding ink to the edge of the pattern paper, just like I did before with all the different layers, and then I'll glue them together. Now I'm making up the main lid. All I'm doing here is sticking on these layers I've made it up. Then what I'll do is I'll stick the 6 lid pieces together, closing them off, just like I did on the body of the small box. Then I will add in the hexagons, again just like I did before. Really easy this part, there's not much to it. When you've cut out all your layers, you just want to make sure that you've got the right hexagon pieces. For the lid itself, it's the largest hexagons, so just make sure, as you can see when I bring these pattern layers in, that you've got the right one. Making up the body of the advent is really easy. All we're going to do is stick on these pattern layers. Nothing hard there, just like we've been doing. Then we'll fold back the wee tab, and then we'll take one of the last hexagon layers that we have, and we're going to glue that tab to one of the hexagons. You're just going to do that for all 6 pieces. Then you'll cover it up with the second layer just to sandwich the tab in between. So here you can see me debating what to do now. I went and cut the hexagon out, but I really should have cut double the amount of layers. So I'm going to glue it on the outside instead of the inside where it should be. You don't need to do this because it just adds bulk and you're not going to see the base anyway. So I still need to add layers to the inside. So I'm going to pick one of the papers and I'll do it off camera. You don't need to see me do that. But just remember, you need double the layers, not as many as I did. So I've added the layers on, I've cut another hexagon just to pop it in the centre as well, and I've edged everything with the green. So next what we're going to do is glue in where we advent boxes, so you need 4 for each side, and as you can see I'm making mine go in the opposite way of each, so one opens left, one opens right. Then I'm gluing the front one closest to the centre and then the outside one in. Then I'll add the 2 in the middle, and I'm just going to repeat that all the way around. Now all I'm doing is adding my wee numbers on top of the boxes. I'm doing it really random, but you can keep yours in order, and I'm just gluing them to the top. For the larger box, I'm adding a ribbon round it. I'm just tying a bow, nothing fancy. Now you could add glue to the base of this and glue it in place to stop it moving, just the ribbon itself, and it'll hold it in place, or you can actually glue the box in, whatever you want to do, or you can just leave it floating about. And then all you've got to do is add on your number, and I'm going to add mine on to the side this time but don't place it on the corner edge like I do here. Make it go on the flat side. You'll see why in a wee bit. So that's the base of the Advent all done. As you can see, I'm just bringing it all together and popping the lid on. You need 2 sets of hands for this, but once it's on, it is perfect. You've got yourself a wee Advent in a box. All you've got to do now is decorate. You can use anything you want. You can use dies, stamps, embellishments, ribbon, gems, anything from your stash. I'm going to use these Chloe's stamps, or maybe even the dies, along with some gems, and I'm even going to use more of this ribbon, but I'll cut everything off camera and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. So off camera I used the Elegant Poinsettia die to cut out my petals. I've used the same grey and red cardstock that I used on the box. On the grey I've used Hickory Smoke, and on the red I used a Black Soot Distress Oxide Even. I've even inked on the back just in case when I shape them you see underneath. I've got some gems that I found in my stash as well, some bling. Of course you can't not have enough bling at Christmas. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some ribbon around my box lid. Now that I've got the ribbon all on, I'm going to make a 3-layer bow. So I'm just cutting another 3 strips of ribbon and then I'll tie it in a bow. If you want to hide the ends of your ribbon on the inside of your box, you could cut some more bits of scrap card and just cover the inside. It's just to tidy it up, but you don't need to do that step. Next what I'm doing is making up the poinsettias. I'm just zooming in so you can see a bit better, and I'm just sort of shaping them by pinching them in towards my thumb and curving them a wee bit. Nothing fancy, just to give them a wee bit of body. And what I'll do is I'll layer all 6 that come in the set together to make up 3 large flowers, and for 2 medium ones I'll use the medium dies and the small dies, and I'll just glue them together with some hot glue and add gems to the centre. Nothing hard about it. You could use more layers if you want to make them fuller, but I think this is just enough. And that's the wee advent all finished. What do you think? I've added the gems to the lid and to the corners of the box along with the flowers, but as you can see here, it's sort of peeking, and that's because of the bulk that I've added to the inside box. Just remember when you go to decorate not to add it right onto the corners, and watch the size of your gems. You can see here my gems have been a bit bulky and been pushing against that number 10 box and sort of pushed it in, but it is what it is. It still looks good. So I've added the gems onto the opposite boxes on each side. I've added the flower to the front of the big box in the middle, and I've also added one to the back. As you can see, I've glued the box in place just so it stops it from moving and I don't lose it. Also, all you've got to do now is fill the box up. You've got to put some wee sweet treats in, or wee small gifts, anything you want ready to gift to somebody, or even keep it for yourself. The box I've matched with the gorgeous burgundy ribbon, my favourite colour, and also brought more gems in. Again, you could hide the inside with the ribbon, but you're not going to see it, so it'll be fine. Remember, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe even subscribe if you haven't already. I'll have all your links you need down below in the description box and everything that I've used in this video. Until next time, bye!